Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Hubar begins now.
The opposition's hoping to revive Tasmania's nightlife, announcing a strategy which it says would allow venues to play live music later, encouraging more people to stay out. Many traders on board as they look to the busy summer months ahead.
It's one of Hobart's most vibrant strips, but some of its traders say unnecessary permits like stopping live music after 10 p.m. is hurting them.
I'd be saying about 25% loss at a bare minimum there, just because everyone wants to be outside, and coming into summer, this is such a crucial time period for us to want to be able to engage with people. Labor
launching a new strategy to revive Tasmania's CBDs. If passed, it would include reducing red tape for late night venues, with supports in place to protect and grow staff numbers.
It's also a business that's feeling the heat of increased electricity costs. Insurance costs for hospitality at the moment are going through the roof. It's been really tough. So by reducing red tape and compliance costs, that'll reduce costs for business, and we hope try and keep costs down for consumers as well.
Hobart Council says while it supports this kind of policy focus, more consultation needs to happen first. But traders say liquor licence rebates for bars that support live music sound like a great idea.
We are all for live music because we hire local artists and we want to promote all the local artists, and other live music is a great part of Hobart's identity.
While the strategy isn't expected to be implemented anytime soon, there has been some consultation with tourism and hospitality sectors, while the government says it's already invested millions into getting workers job ready and increasing visitation. Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
The third and final day of the Royal Hobart Show has gone off with a bang. Family fun, the focus of today's festivities. Little ones getting up close and personal with animals of all shapes and sizes, some a little cuter than others.
A lot of people know Leicester. We've been using Leicester for quite a few years now, so everyone sort of comes over and says, oh, where's Leicester, or some of the other snakes that we have for long terms.
Organisers say crowd numbers matched that of last year, with 35 to 40,000 people attending over the 3-day event. To some breaking news now, and 2 workers have been injured in a Ferris wheel incident at the Royal Hobart Show. Reporter Ruby Cairns is at the scene. Good evening, Ruby. What details can you tell us?
Lou, we don't have a whole lot of details at this stage. What we do know is that an incident happened about 3:30 this afternoon on the Ferris wheel behind me here in the final half hour of the last day of the Hobart Show. It's understood 2 workers were injured when trying to stop the Ferris wheel, which was malfunctioning at the time. Their injuries have been described as minor, but they have been taken to hospital as a precaution. No riders or other patrons were hurt. WorkSafe is also behind us here investigating, with a full investigation to come soon. Lou.
All right, thank you for that, Ruby Cairns there. The state government is set to pitch in on the cost of new medium density housing projects, offering developers $10,000 per dwelling on eligible builds. The grants will be available to developments with between 3 and 50 new homes. It's hoped the move will increase housing stock and affordability. A group of volunteer firefighters have switched the station for the road, taking on a gruelling 81-kilometre walk, all in the name of a cause close to the brigade's heart. The 10-strong crew trekking from Deloraine to the Royal Flying Doctor Services hangar at Launceston Airport, raising vital funds for the organisation.
We've got a couple of guys here that have actually used the Flying Doctors for their daughter when she was born, so it sort of struck home with a few of our members, so we thought it was definitely a worthy cause.
The group has smashed its original target of $1,500, already raising over $17,000. As the scariest night of the year fast approaches, the Halloween spirit is already being cast over the masses. Frightening festivities are popping up right across the state, with one local restaurant transforming into the ultimate spooky central.
Take a masked monster, a headless horror, and a family of Wednesday Addamses, and you've got the perfect witch's brew for an afternoon of screams.
Very spooky and also really cool. I really enjoyed it. I get to see lots of scary things.
The spectacular occasion seeing Launceston's Cataract on Patterson turn on the horror, welcoming in daring minds for a trick-or-treat lunch special.
We have over 200 people for lunch today and it's mayhem. The children are going to leave here full of sugar and thank God they leave us.
It's probably going to give me a sugar rush soon.
The Wicked Wonders immersing the creepy crowd, keeping patrons entertained and on edge.
So I run around giving gifts to the kids, scaring them a little bit. You see some fantastic costumes as well, and a lot of people getting into the spirit.
All making for some frightening fun.
And I think the world needs some fun and magic and, and a bit of spooky.
All the spooky magic doesn't stop here. The Halloween terror continues all weekend long, giving you plenty of chances to be scared if you dare. Ouch!
A lot of the time it's just jumping up behind someone hoping they don't see me. We sometimes team it up together and we sneak behind.
Because everyone's entitled to a good scare. Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania has played a part in writing a piece of aviation history as the Boeing 717 completes its last Australian flight. The unique jet, with its engines at the tail, has been in our skies for 25 years. Its final trip touching down just minutes ago.
A farewell tour city to city. Launceston starting the party for an aviation great about to be parked for good.
Hey guys.
The Boeing 717 making its final rounds today. 25 years, millions of kilometres.
Cheers.
And it seems quite a few fans.
It reminds me of my childhood. So it reminds me of the days of TAA, Ansett, seeing the iconic T-Jet aircraft, engines at the back.
I just flown in from Singapore to fly on the last 717.
I've flown 4 sectors today just to be here on this aircraft.
Qantas invited us on the 717's farewell tour from Tassie to Sydney, where the crew prepared the jet for its retirement flight to Canberra. Only 3 airlines still have the 717. Tonight, that shrinks to 2. Its powerful tail-mounted engines provide a fast and loud takeoff, but for the last few rows, they block the view.
Look, it's bittersweet, it is sad, but it's also incredibly exciting. It's the start of our next generation aircraft that's coming in with the A220.
The 717 has another piece of history attached. It is the last aircraft on which there was an attempted hijacking in Australia. May 2003, a man pulled sharpened wooden stakes from his pocket and tried to enter the cockpit. Cabin crew stopped him, averting disaster. One was stabbed, the other left with a black eye. A far more peaceful flight today, sending a workhorse of domestic flying out with style. Blake Johnson, 7 News.
Some of the state's top surfers have made waves at the Tasmanian Board Riders Battle Qualifiers. 2 of our own clubs will join 42 others when they represent the Apple Isle on the big stage at the Gold Coast next year.
Taking to the waves at Sanford Beach, some of Tasmania's best surfers competing in the Australian Board Riders Battle Series.
We've got South Arm Board Riders and Park Beach, and the other ones, they've got North East Board Riders and North West Board Riders.
Pitting the state's premier clubs against each other in a bid to secure a spot at next year's Burleigh Heads Nationals.
2 from Tasmania get to qualify.
Today's wave conditions a little challenging, putting surfers through their paces.
Pretty tricky. There's not a whole lot of good waves to find.
Pretty challenging, pretty hard conditions and limited time.
The North East Board Riders dusting off their boards after a small hiatus, but it was South Arm coming in as the favourites, dominating the event over the past decade, winning all but one state qualifier.
I think there was a bit of pressure there and a lot of egos.
Their team boasting a competitive lineup, proving age is no barrier on the water.
Surfing around surfers that are better than you, just up to surfing so much more, so it's excellent.
But it was the East taking home top honours in their home waters.
Pretty excited, so we're looking forward to representing North East on the main stage.
They'll join South Arm in representing Tasmania in the Sunshine State next year. Rebecca Gardneris, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, it might look a little different this year. All the sounds, fun and on-track action of Motorama are just the same. The popular motorsport show spinning into Symmons Plains, leaving its traditional Longford home in the rearview mirror, giving rev heads a weekend of thrills. The celebration of the past, present and future of racing continues tomorrow. The Jack Jumpers will be looking to bounce back tonight after a lacklustre start to their NBL season. They face hosts Brisbane Bullets in just over an hour's time. The Jackies could have their work cut out for them, with the Bullets likely to come in firing with a 2-game winning streak under their belt. We'll have full coverage of the game in tomorrow night's bulletin.
Good evening. 18 in Hobart today, Launceston 17, 15 across Devonport and Burnie. 20 was the state's top down the west coast at Scotts Peak, 16 across Flinders Island and Smithton, Lyweenie reaching a top of 12 degrees. Thickening low-level cloud was seen over most of the state today, with some patchy high-level cloud over the west and south. Further out, thunderstorms are seen across WA, with low-level clouds sitting over Queensland and Victoria. Tomorrow, a trough sits over Tasmania, with showers easing and contracting to the west in the afternoon. North to northwesterly winds tomorrow, 10 to 20 knots, swells up to 2.5 metres in the west and south and up to 1 metre in the north. A strong wind warning is current for the west coast and southeast coast. Tomorrow's forecast now, Hobart and Richmond 21 with a shower or two, 20 in Ouse. In the north, Launceston reaching 20 degrees, 17 in Devonport, showers easing in Deloraine. Burnie tomorrow a shower or two, 17 and showers across Strawn and Curry. 21 in St Helens, Swansea a shower or two and 19 in Whitemark. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast now, Monday showers about the west and far south, fine elsewhere. Tuesday showers across the west and Wednesday fine conditions with showers in the west of the state. 28 and sunny in Perth tomorrow, Melbourne partly cloudy and 26 in Sydney. And currently Hobart 15, mostly cloudy, Launceston 14 and Devonport 12 and partly cloudy. And if you're running in the Burnie 10 tomorrow, Lou, you might want to pack a raincoat as a shower or two is expected there.
Well, I'm not, but that's a very good reminder. That's that, Jackie. That's all your news for this Saturday night. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.